All right, I'm going to go over this first problem in 11.3. They give me R of t is this thing, and they tell me that they ask some questions about the point 30. Notice this says R of t is 3t times I hat plus t minus 1 times j hat. So I could rewrite this as 3t times 1 comma 0, because this is only in 2 dimensions, so I don't have to add that third one. Plus t minus 1 times 0 comma 1. Well, that, if I convert it into just single vector, is because that, if you look at it, that is 1 0 and that is 0 1. So, if I convert that into vector form, I get 3t comma t minus 1. And that's the position vector for something. So there's a couple of questions that they ask me. The first one is to graph what this function looks like. So I can do that by eliminating the parameter. I'm going to solve in this, that's x. I know x is 3t, so that gives me t is x over 3. I can plug that into y, which is this one, which is equal to t minus 1, so I get x minus, or x over 3 minus 1. So I can graph that thing. So the point, I'll just point this out now, the point we're working with is 3 0. So I'll pull that up in a moment. So to graph this right here, I'm going to graph y equals x minus 3 over 1. So draw an axis, put a tick there for the negative 1. Now it's got a slope of 1/3, so I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, put a dot, draw a line between the two. It asks me to indicate the direction. So if you look, this slope is positive. The x slope, we could call it, and then the y slope is positive too. So that means that both of them are moving in the same direction, or in a positive direction at the same time, which means that the direction of this is like that. You don't need all those arrows, you really only need one. Alright, so then they ask me for v of t and a of t at this point 3 0 right here. So to figure those guys out, I'm going to take this, remember this right here is r of t, the position. So v vector of t is the derivative of that. So I'm going to write it in I hat j hat component form just because I want you to get used to that. I'm going to get a 3 for my x component, so I'm going to write that as 3I hat, and then I'm going to get a positive 1 from the derivative of that because I'm deriving with respect to time. So I'm going to get plus j hat. If I want to do v of, alright, so question is, what t value do I put in here? Well, if you look, the point is 3 0 that they want things at. So I need to figure out what t value will give me that. Well, in this case, you should see it pretty easily. If I'm taking this guy right here, this is my position, I want it to be at that position, what t value will get me there? Well, t equals 1 definitely makes this go to 3, and then if I plug in t equals 1 there, I get 0. So I got to speed this up, but you should see that I'm looking for v of 1. So I just plug in 1 to this. Well, there's no t's, so what do I get? I get 3 comma 1. I can graph that thing right here, like this. Goes out 3, I'll mark it 1, 2, 3, up 1. You should get the point at this point. For A, of t, I derive this thing, and you should get the 0 vector, and hopefully that helps.